Going on the air. Theme song. YouTube, you got to play the theme song. Hello out there. And welcome to another edition of Real Sports Talk. No agenda, just sports talk real. We're not promoting anything. We're just promoting sports and knowledge of sports. Okay. Topic, of course, basketball from that opening theme song. And you know what gets me is that right now, by the way, it's the 30th day of March. It's Monday, the year of our Lord 2026. March is almost done. Wow. Okay, good. Because we're heading towards the NBA playoffs. We're in the middle of the NCAA or near the end of the NCAA tournament. College basketball, a 3-week sport. We're at the end of the second week. We're heading to the third week. But if you tuned in sports radio today like I did, you turn on the radio, you're driving in the car, you turn on the radio, and is he talking about the UConn Duke game yesterday? Are they talking about the Knicks and OKC last night? What is the guy talking? Well, like the third game of the Yankees was very, very good. Really? That's what you're talking about. I turned on the radio the other day, and now at shortstop, Jared's. What? I want to hear something. Oh, my goodness. The first game, the second baseball, and it's March, and you got baseball games. Anyway, let's get to what we want to get to here. And before we get to the Knicks, we're going to get to the Duke UConn with one of my favorite coaches. Down by 19 in the second half, creeping their way back in little by little, giving the ball into their big guy Reed, they couldn't stop him in the second half. And any guy named Reed, I got to like him. Don't mess with a guy named Reed. He'll come through for you. And he did, but he needed some help. He needed a little help at the end. And this is what happened with 10 seconds to go. I forget this guy's name, Lemery. He had made 2 3-pointers, 2 big threes. Gets fouled. UConn down by 3. Let me see if we can get it here. First we got a dopey commercial. I got to hold it in this hand here. All right. But maybe we go this way. Yes. Get rid of this. Make it a little louder for everybody. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait. They took me back to the beginning. I don't want the beginning. Oh, it was Demery. That's the guy. This guy, Demery, he had made 2 big 3-pointers. He's fouled, down by 3. He's got 2 shots. He blows the first one. 10 seconds remaining. Rolling. Now, this happened yesterday. You turn on WFAN. Do you think you hear it? We're talking about Aaron Judge. We're talking about, I don't know what we're talking about, but you're not analyzing nothing, nothing. They're doing nothing. Nothing about the Knicks and OKC. By the way, the Knicks cannot beat OKC in OKC. They couldn't even beat them in the Garden. I think OKC beat them in a close one at the Garden. Anyway, let's get to the NBA because the playoffs are coming. And that's when it gets interesting. You know when I want to hear about baseball? Talk to me in September. Talk to me in September. Baseball's nice in the summer. You can come home, you turn the TV on, there's a game every night, or you could sit on a stoop with the radio or with one of these, listen to the game on the radio. It's the best sport to listen to on radio. But in March, it's March 30th. I mean, yet the old Yankee Stadium opening day was April 23rd. I'm sorry, April 18th. April 18th was opening day in the original Yankee Stadium. All right. Anyway, let's get back to the NBA because things are coming to a close. There's about 8 games left. There's only one surprise from the beginning of the year. Because this is another thing. You know who's going to be in it. So why am I watching the regular season? Here's what you have. There's only one surprise for the playoffs play in. And that is the big surprise is the Charlotte Hornets, who are 10th seed in the East. And the only reason they're in there, because the Bucks, Giannis got hurt or he don't want to play, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the Knicks fans, we got to get Giannis. Yeah, get Giannis. What is he going to do? Sit on, the guy should be playing. But he decided not to play. He can't play. The Bucks are terrible. And they're out of it. Out of it. They're 11th, but they're 9 games behind. So everybody who's the top 10 is in. They're just jockeying for position. A minor surprise is that the Atlanta Hawks have now snuck into the 6th spot. I don't know if this will come on, but look at this. It's not going to come on now. Okay. But the Atlanta Hawks have snuck into spot number 6 ahead of Philly by a half a game in the win column. I don't know what's wrong with the Magic and the Magic had injuries. The Magic could be pulling upset in the playoffs. They're number 8 right now, and the Heat. I don't know what's the matter with the Heat. They got talent. Their defense is, I don't know. They just don't put it together. They just do not. They have a lot of talent on that team. And, I don't know what is wrong with them. Why they're 9th. I can't understand why they're 9th. But as far as the rest of it, no surprise. The Knicks are hanging on to the 3rd spot, 1 game ahead of the Cavaliers. And Pistons are 1st, but without Kate Cunningham, the Pistons could get beat. They could get beat. I mean, they got a good squad. They got a tough team, strong team. They play hard, but Cunningham is the main man. So they've been missing him for a few games. And I don't know if they can go without him. That's the East. Oh, by the way, rounding out the East, the Bucks, I told you, they're 9 games back, 9 games out of the play-in, and they're 11th. So imagine how far back the other teams are. The Bulls, they're only 9 back too because they decided to tank it 2/3 of the way in when they traded Vujovic and they got rid of somebody else that was good. So they decided to, and I don't know why these teams do that. Like, oh, we want to get the top draft pick. Who's in the draft? Can somebody tell me who's in? Is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the draft? Who are they going to get that's going to impact the team, that's going to take them to the top in the draft? This is just stupid. This is stupid. There's no Magic Johnson in the draft. There's no Jordan. There's no Bird. There's no Rick Barry. That's right, Rick Barry in the draft. There's no Bill Russell. There's no Will Chamberlain in the draft. None of these guys are. There's no Tim Duncan in the draft. None of these guys are in the draft. Why are you losing on purpose? The New Jersey. They should be back in New Jersey because they're a disgrace to the once great borough of Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets, 18-57, 18 wins. They ought to not even show up. I was wondering who's going to these net games. What are they drawing? What could they be drawing? Which I still got to check out the attendance. But someone else told me, you know what they did? They dropped the ticket prices. And I was looking up the ticket prices, and they did drop the prices. A lot of tickets are under $100. So that's how they may be getting people to go, if people are going. But what are they going for? The Washington Wizards. What a disgraceful. When was the last time the Washington Wizards were good? I can't even remember the Wizards ever being good since they went from the Bullets to becoming the Wizards. They haven't been good for 30 years. Unless I'm wrong about that, but I can't remember them having a competitive team. Not a very good team. And the Pacers, they decided to tank it. I don't know who they're going to get. Who do they think they're going to get? And they let Miles Turner go when Halliburton got hurt. All right. Well, that rounds out the disgraceful last 5 teams in the East. They're a disgrace to basketball. Now the West. The best team in the West. I don't usually make predictions. But I wouldn't say the best team, but the team to watch in the West is the 3rd seed team, and that is the LA Lakers. The Lakers are 9-10 deep, just like OKC. OKC's 10, 11, 12 deep. But the Lakers are definitely 10 deep. And even Dalton Connect, he don't even play. He's the 11th, and there's another guy, 12. But they got 10 guys. They got guys coming off the bench. LaRavia, Kennard. I didn't know Kennard was such a good shooter. The guy could shoot, though. He shoots. You can't leave this guy open. LaRavia, Jackson Hayes is excellent off the bench. Some of these guys would be starters on other teams. And Rui Hachimura. You got to love Rui. The guy can make shots. He defends. He rebounds. He hustles. He's not even starting. And then Vanderbilt, who's a hustle player off the bench. A couple of these guys could be starters on other teams to go with. And the Laker defense has been getting better. We know LeBron could play D. Marcus Smart is a great defender. Aiden is finally playing the way he's capable, and he's a defender. All he's got to do is defend, rebound, and block shots. And Reeves and Doncic are making an effort now on defense, and defense is effort. Most of defense is just effort. You got to make an effort. You could be a good defender. So everybody's been talking about the Spurs lately. Wemby. I want to see Wemby in the playoffs. The Spurs are number 2. OKC 1. I don't know if I could get this on here. But you can see OKC, the Spurs, the Lakers. The Lakers are solid as the 3rd seed. Number 4, the Nuggets are bunched up. Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Rockets are bunched up. Nuggets and Timberwolves will be a good series. But the Nuggets, here's a problem with the Nuggets. They're stupid. The Nuggets are not going anywhere. They're stupid. If the Nuggets play the Timberwolves this year and the Timberwolves are healthy, Timberwolves will beat them. Why? Because, again, the Nuggets are stupid. They let Michael, they must hate Michael Porter Jr. because they got rid of him. And they sent him to the Nets. That's like being banished to Bogeyland. They sent him to the Nets. He's got to be suffering this year. Not when he goes to the bank, though. Not when he checks his bank account. He feels a little better. But they got rid of him, and they got rid of Mike Malone. They fired the coach this year. This guy, Adelman, he's not impressive at all. I don't think he's good. I really don't think he's good at all. The Rockets are number 6. Kevin Durant is on his way to ruining the Rockets. Oh, that didn't come. Anyway, they're 6th. Durant, you can't count on this guy. The Rockets were a much better team last year. All right, I got a message now as we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. I forgot to tell everybody that at the beginning. I have something in the comments section. If I could get it, if I could get this in front of me. Why won't it come in front of me? See where it is? It's down there on the bottom. Oh, I got it. I got it in front of me. We're back in business. From a big Knicks fan, a basketball aficionado from way back. He's giving me a Knicks comment. Please tell Cat about effort. That's right. Cat, he makes a lot of effort when he has the ball and he tries to drive to the basket strong and he wants to lay it in. Most of the time he does. He was disappointing, Cat. Cat was disappointing in his last game. Was that the game yesterday? If you're talking about the game yesterday, that's yes. That's definitely a good point. He played without any effort, enthusiasm, and smarts. Going up against Isaiah Hartenstein, who the Knicks got rid of. He got a championship ring. And Chet Holmgren. He went up against 2 guys. Well, a lot of guys would drive into the basket like Jay Williams. They'd see an opening. Cat is it. They drive right there. Cat would look at him and watch him dunk it or lay it in. They should have given Cat a phone. He should have had his phone out there so he could take close-up photos of these guys driving in, scoring on him. So anyway, that is why with the Knicks, I would use Cat. I wouldn't start Cat. First of all, I never would have got him on the team, but he's on the team. Okay, he's on the team. Robinson, OG, Bridges, Hart, and Brunson. You got 4 defenders there, so they could cover for Brunson, who's actually good at drawing charges. So now you bring Cat off the bench, so he could just shoot. If he's hot, he's going to score. He's going to score. He's going to score. But you can't have him defensively. He's very weak, very weak. So anyway, we want to thank the great Andrew Sorrentino for chiming in. I got to get Andrew. I got to get Andrew on a FaceTime call or a WhatsApp call as a guest one of these days. Cat on here's another comment by Andrew. Andrew's taking over this show. Cat on offense was like he was sitting on the bench. He had a guy 6 to 8 inches smaller, and he never took the guy to the basket. Right. They had, what's his name? Caruso was covering him. Lou Dort was covering him. Andrew coming on. We're going to do a Knicks show, Andrew. A Knicks analysis before the playoffs. All right, let me just finish with the West. And if the Lakers play the Rockets, that'll be an easy win for them. The Suns are 4 games behind the Rockets. There's not enough games left to catch up. Rounding out the last 3 is Clippers, Trailblazers, and Warriors. That's who's in the play-in. Now, the bottom 5 teams, again, like in the East, 10 games behind. Team 11 is 10 games behind the Warriors, who are number 10. The Grizzlies, 15 wins. Is that right? I'm sorry, 25 wins. Check that, 25 wins. That's still not good. Twice as many losses as wins. The Pelicans, remember when the Pelicans, they got the first, they're picking Zion Williamson. So, that's like that. These teams are tanking to pick who? All right, then you got the Mavericks. I thought at a certain point the Mavericks might make a run at the 10th spot, but then all of a sudden they started losing. They got to be losing on purpose. The Utah Jazz, they've been horrible for several years already. Oh my goodness. What a joke. And worse than them, the Sacramento Kings. There was a big game the other night. Sacramento versus the Nets. I don't even know who won that game. That was 2 of the worst teams. That would be like a joke watching that game. Imagine sitting in front of a TV in the stands watching that kind of game. Wow. Anyway, that's it. So teams are just jockeying for position here. And we're going to keep you updated. There's 8 games to go. And then we get to the real season, the playoffs. And this has been Real Sports Talk. Thank you for tuning in. I just got to get to there we go. Live on Facebook. We've been live on YouTube. And YouTube, you got to be playing this closing music because this is a non-profit show. The sun is really coming over here. Yeah. We got a sunny day. Look at this. This was the old theme. NBA Game of the Week. Connie Hawkins. Kareem. Wilt. Pistol Pete. Earl the Pearl. The Big O. And Jerry West. Got to exit now. How do I exit? End the stream. What happened here? There we go. See you next time, everybody, on Real Sports Talk.